Warning. If you're about to see is footage setting up. That's up and under, please not watch this video. For the rest of my audience, enjoy the video. Hey guys, Richard here, back in another video today. As we're revisiting, yeah I know. And today we're looking at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can tell from the poster. Leatherface action figure. Now, what would be like the best horror movie of the 70s? Besides Halloween, of course. This one, of course. Well, you know, it was John, Black Christmas, I think a few other no-brainers, and like Guns Access, Alien, Alien, and that was really it. But surprisingly enough, I think like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is really the one that actually kind of did whole entire. I mean, it was Psycho that spawned it, Night of the Living Dead that actually one that took the gore aspect, and this one basically just put those two things together. And supposedly, though, does say it is from a true story. That is beyond me. We're gonna actually get into the whole entire semi-history on actually Texas Chainsaw Massacre's whole entire, believable story. But first, we're gonna actually get into the box. Let's do it. Also, it's semi-gray out there. I can see a little bit of actually blue. So, if my upload schedule is a bit different, then you know there's that. I mean, it's not really upload schedule, it's just that the timing of when these things are recorded. As you can tell. Me. Box. Now, the box obviously is this. It has the poster from the original movie. And you can plainly tell what it says. Who will survive what will be left of them? America's most bizarre and criminal crimes. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What happened is true, and the motion picture that's just as real. Has actually the rated R little logo over there, including with a few of the, the copyright claims. From Toby Hooper from New Lines in the Mouth. Yeah. As you can see on how they were different from back in the day. They just had a plain end that just had a little tiny bit of a line. And now they're just different. This is all white, except when you go into the other parts of the packaging, what's different. It has Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like real toys. On the top, it has more of that. Age 17 and up, I'm old. One trucking hazards. I mean, yeah. Same thing on here. Bottom has the exact same thing. I feel like as though the stitching is basically the face. As the ones who thinking directed the whole entire one. Sculpted, painted it. And on the bottom it says here 1944. I mean, not 40, 74. Nothing unrace believed, all that. Really don't care about that. On the back of the box is this. And you can tell why I got it from the era. Each picture of the figure, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the actual, description of the movie itself. And the side right here it has little stuff on what it comes with. There's all the accessories. On the inside over here, which I haven't done in a real long time, for this figure, not actually, the series, has a window of the figure, comes with the accessories, has a picture of the figure right here. But the background, I do like, if you can see. Let's get right here. You can see it's right there. So overall, that's really about the box. Move on to the figure and the semi-actual real story that this movie is based off of. I don't know how it comes from, it's called that's how you pronounce it in short. It's TTCM. But I call it SMH. Anyways, this. Now, actually, surprisingly enough, though, the story of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, besides the movie itself, I think came around the 40s or 60s or 50s or 60s. Around then, before 74. Thing is, though, there wasn't actually a killer who used people's real faces to become the killer. If that's believable. There's a lot of things in the movie that, is pretty unreal for it at its time and even nowadays. And the stuff that was in the movie was actually based off of stuff. Like the whole entire, shrines of singing bones over heck. Using, bone decor. Yeah, that was actually real life stuff. Thing is, there wasn't really a killer who actually used people's faces, all wielding in a good old chainsaw. Which, this one's inaccurate color. And actually, design purposes, I do like on how he looks. This is not actually the figure itself, I just think of the movie design they used of him. I mean, for Christ's sake, he's different from the poster compared to actually what the film had. He has, from what I could gather, let me just zoom in here for a tiny bit. He has a blue shirt, I don't know if he has he does have an apron, a white apron, some khaki pants. I don't know if those are called khaki. I'm not too sure. And a silver, or I guess a white, if you call it, chainsaw. The movie version, actually, we did had more or less of a, I guess, of a stale, not really of a stale, but I think a different shade of color of white. Had a yellow-esque color apron. I don't know if we could ever see the tie. And he had jeans, which were blue. And also, the figure had a yellow chainsaw, but in the movie, it's actually green. I do not remember the number that they used for the Pacific film. I know, we doesn't have facts here, but there's some between the lines of that. Running some chit-chat about actually what was ever seen from the poster to the film. Let's actually get into the accessories it comes with. This also comes with actually the face sculpt he has on him, which is very good. Comes with a chainsaw, which we're gonna get to later on. And I guess it's separated, like, this. I really did forget that name. Oh, apron, there we go. A separate apron, which you actually could untie, which we actually are gonna do later on. And hopefully, by the time I'm done actually doing this video, I'm actually gonna put it back on. He comes with a meat hook, which I really couldn't actually get up to stand. It's supposed to be like this. Comes with the mallet, either mallet or sledgehammer, not too sure. Comes with a little hunting knife. I really don't know how this thing's supposed to be used. Comes with a meat cleaver. And it comes with an exchangeable head, aka the grandma face. Now, I'm actually going to go into a complaint pretty soon, but you can see all the stitching right there. It's actually kind of flexible down here, so you could either just break it off or just make it like a new sculpt in general. And I guess also his hands, which he does have with. And I actually did, before this video, in fact around the same time I got the figure, which is this month, I actually did do a video, but I never actually got around to actually doing it because I still couldn't figure out actually how to use the, pausing, which is basically this. So, there's that. And people actually are kind of telling me about, should I release some of the older videos I did, but never actually got around to doing them. All the videos I did release, it's just that they didn't really do well. Thing is, I don't know how to transfer the older videos onto the newer, not like a newer phone, but like, I'm still using the phone I'm still using right here, which is the Pod Junks, but I can only, transfer pictures. So you can have to take my word for granted on how those ones, like, the one time I did the Valentine's special, like, in 2019, which you can still hear in, like, my Angry Bird Push collection video back then, which I am going to do a remake of in July, even though the video was released in August. So, there's that. And let's actually get into some of the things I can actually get on him and some of the complaints I do have with the figure. It's only minor, but me. Oh, so you can plainly tell that I actually didn't glue the little hook on the chainsaw right here. Yeah, that breaks up a lot than usual, so, that was that idea for you. Yeah, I don't know how that went through the changes. But can I just say, if you get this figure still mint in box, you're gonna have a pretty hard time if you want to get that chainsaw on. You have to think and take off the hands, which is kind of, it's not really tedious, it's just very scary. It's not like, if you get yourself a new figure and it breaks, what do? Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do. You're either gonna decide to get a different body for it, like, literally like 2 months later, right there, or you just glue it back on. There's always those options. And yeah, that's probably about it. I'm probably gonna pause it right here so I can get the chainsaw off because I'm literally that close away. So here's a better look at the chainsaw itself, though. Let me just scoot this back a tiny bit. This gear does have some pretty good blur on it, though. Let me focus again. There you go. I didn't go full on, thinking cased it in red marker. I just did a tiny bit because, if there's way too much ketchup, I just can't do it like sorry, dude. I'm actually gonna get through the whole entire articulation before I actually get to, some of the poses I could do with him, some of the complaints I have with the figure, so that. Anyways, so here it is. This thing could be removed a tiny bit, so there's that. Head could go up for a little bit, down a lot, side to side. Go 360 though. Arms could go right here. It go down. Could actually go swivel all the way around. He has one joint elbows. He could go swivel. He actually does have, this. And he's just thinking on the peg right there is actually separated though. Which actually could move all the way around. This one's a little pain to actually get off and put back on. Actually, there is still markings of the original, me trying to put it back on. Also, some of the blood you see in here isn't how the figure comes out. I obviously put those junks on to make it more different. Tie is kind of flexible. I don't know what kind of plastic they did use for him, though. So, there's that. I'm gonna actually take the junk off. I think you just have to, like, knot it for one, and then just knot it again. So, there's that. It's basically like if you put on but down on a woody, though. Yeah, he actually does have sculpt, and I do not remember seeing that. He actually does a bit of a stomach here, which ain't that bad. He really does have an abdomen, though, so I mean, you could try to get it there. I mean, he has a swivel, though. Yeah, they didn't really paint that much, especially that for Christ's sakes. And really, that's about it. Let me just put it back on. And of course, the apron's bloody, so you always have that fact. Let me just put the junk back on first. No, I'm actually not doing it. Let's actually get to the leg articulation. Didn't really hose on with that much articulation, so you could kick. It's very stiff, so there's that. Kick up, kick back. You could do this, which I really didn't do with some of the other figures I have. You could kick once, which could swivel all the way around. And his boots, which actually nowadays are actually a cowboy boot, you can plainly tell right now. Up, down, and side to side, you can actually go all the way around, and that's really it. Yeah, actually, people really didn't notice that he actually did have cowboy boots on, but surprisingly, he does. I mean, it makes sense for when the film came out, 1940. No, I keep on saying 40, 74 for Christ's sakes. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I did not tie it the way I wanted to. It was like this. I'm gonna tie it one more time so it stays there perfectly. I don't know what material they did use for the apron, but it's a different material from what I remember. Ain't like the fabric like some of the other figures I do have over here. And then we actually exchanged the head, which is kinda odd. That looks weird. Head up close. As you can see, they did put a lot of detail, and they actually did add the little silver lining around the mouth. A little buck teeth right there, I think. Has a bit of a gaping hole in there, and there's that. Didn't add the accurate ears though. That. Might use this head, not like this specific one, but you might get a duplicate, and just I use it for the pretty face one. And here comes a really good complaint that I have with the figure. He don't have a separate apron. The grandma face in the movie has a different shirt, if I remember, and has a pink, if I remember. My dog's barking again. Has a pink apron. This one does not come with a separate apron, which is kind of sucks. But I do remember seeing that there was actually a custom on, YouTube, of course. Did have the accurate shirt. I think it was a different color. It was like that color right there. Like blue and then the pink apron, So, there's that. Do you like how it looks, though? So, there's that. I really don't know what's playing with it, though. Thing is, I don't know how to create material of aprons like this. So, there. Oh, maybe it was a different color instead of pink. It was like a darker pink, I remember. So, there's that. Let's get into some of the weapons I could put on him, though. Also, you could put this tie inside the actual, apron. Ugh! Okay, there we go. Let me just pause it before I die here. Actually, could put the tie inside the apron, though. Like, something along like this. So you can have it like a Toonie Taz kind of one, but I have it more sticked out because that's how it was in the film, I remember. Also, I don't know why it always keeps on like sticking out, which either is accurate or inaccurate to how it is in the film. Oh, and you have to take these very good details into consideration for the fact. The Michael Myers of 2018 came with a long knife. He has like an 8-inch knife in the film. So, there's that. Let's get to the accessories. There's a lot. So here he has the little hunting knife right here and the meat cleaver. Oh, not meat cleaver, the sledgehammer. A sledge, I don't know. And actually how they do actually get in there to become straight is that there's a little gap in between the hands and the fingers. And it could be that you could have it like this, or you could just flank it and just decide to have it like crooked. I do like that they did added this, so if you wanted to make it look like it was messy, there's that. Also, if you wanted to know if I did add blood on the, apron, no, I did not. That wasn't even the material. I think you could change that for the 3016 scale figure, so you know it's done. Okay, add the, the hook and the meat cleaver. I really don't feel like it, so we're actually just gonna end right here, pretty much. Yeah. One tip if you actually do want to get the chainsaw is by just taking the hands out, prying it through here, and then if you don't bend this junk a little bit too much, you actually could get in there. Or you could just do this. Move the fingers up a tiny bit and then get it in there fully. I don't know, just done. It is painful to get through, but once you go in there, you're good to go, and you probably should not have done it ever again, unless you're making a video about it, for Christ's sakes. And yeah, it's painful as ever to do it, so there's that idea for you. Yeah, that too. And you have to gently, not gently though, but like, yeah, I'm about to break the junk racing. Guess break the second handle of it. Have to get in through here, then all of a sudden you have to get it through here. And I just realized that this thing is inaccurate, so fun. There we go, got through. Something along the lines of this, how that's a little bit different. You need, if your handle's broken, you gotta line it up so it don't look broken. Even though it's a pain to do with. So there's that. So that is it on the figure. What I think of the figure in general? Well, it's a good figure. It has a lot of junk on him though. And he's a good one. He's a very good one for display purposes. But complaints are thing, no apron, and the most weirdest complaint of them all is that NECA didn't release that many alternate figures. They released this one, and that was it really. They never actually released any other ones. They could say for a fact that you're forgetting about the other figures, I know. But ultimate wise, this is like the only one we ever really got. The ones I do know that did release was a lot of retro claws. They released the normal version of this. They released the pretty face. They released the hunters. They released the second one. They released the third one. And I think back in the day they did release the reboot version. And that was really it. And it kind of sucks, because in fact that we would really do like to see some other ones. Like maybe a second one. Reboot could be very good, actually. And that could actually do it though. So I'll actually give this figure a 6.5 out of 10. He's good! But again, apron and the whole entire reason I was thinking no other figures kind of holds him back a tiny bit. Main question is that where could you find him now? We could have found him in I think Toys R Us, Target though, and Walmart if you're lucky. He actually was very popular to the point where they actually was sold out in NECA in 2019, I remember. They did say they were going to restock the original ones. They were going to have the, the newer versions. I was thinking, there was a hanger, which was color coordinated with the boxes. And that's how I was able to get this figure. Nah, it's actually because I would have gone in the clear era. Well, there's that. I'm still missing a lot of other figures I still have to get to. Like, a lot. And, yeah, that's about it. So guys, think of the video. Like, share, comment, notifications. The more probably YouTube, then go to settings, get on notifications, but all are personal on YouTube for me. If not, then try to glue that junk back on. Or try to make a custom apron or color. Or at least try to get the, I don't know how you call it, the chainsaw thing, I guess the head. It's the body of the chainsaw itself to be an accurate green color. It's not like a dark green, but it's a very lime green-esque color. I'm trying to think of the lime green here. Like the pig plushes kind of bit. Follow my Instagram, I'll see you guys in the next video. Next week's on custom. Great. And that will be sort of history on the channel, and after that will be the Angry Bird plush video. So, be on the lookout for that. But anyways, bye.